We are in the home stretch of this A-League men's season, and we have another tantalising round of football awaiting us this weekend. Of course, just the 5 games this week. Mariners and City, their game has been postponed due to the Mariners AFC Cup commitments. Western United Melbourne Victory kick us off on a Thursday night match in a game that should be really interesting to watch, because Western United have quietly been building some decent form in their past couple matches. Melbourne Victory, it has been up and down of late. They're coming off a good win in the original rivalry against Adelaide last weekend. This is a match that I feel like could actually swing either way. Western United, impressive to see them finally scoring some goals. Noah Botic has been on the score sheet. Daniel Pena has been looking good. Scored a great goal last week against Western Sydney Wanderers. This is a team that I think is maybe just finally now at the wrong end of the season. It's finally clicking for John Aloisi's side. Has it come too late? It probably has. It's going to be a massive ask for them to make it all the way to the top 6. But I tell you what, they could snatch the result here against Melbourne Victory. This has 2-2 written all over it for me. This is a match that I think, there's some confident goal scorers on both teams, and Melbourne Victory just in the last few weeks, maybe defensively, a little bit shaky at times. I could see this one ending in 2-2 draw. It just feels like a game that could have goals in it. Two sides who often do play pretty exciting matches against each other. Friday night's match actually should be interesting as well, and should contain goals for me as well, because more so because two teams who maybe defensively haven't been up to scratch this season. Newcastle Jets, Adelaide United, in a similar situation where they really need to win. This game could be a pivotal game for the remainder of the season. This could, determine their fate for this campaign. Newcastle Jets at home, I think, will be really looking at this game, highlighting this game as one where we have to get 3 points. Adelaide United, the same could be said for them, man. They've been struggling to pick up points at home as well. Adelaide United, they'll see this as an opportunity to grab 3 points against a team who are, around that same position as them on the ladder. I tell you what, the team that loses this game, if there is a loser, the team that loses this game, I think, is out of contention for finals. It's going to be really, really tricky to hit the top 6 from here. And curious to see how this one plays out, because I think it could, again, swing either way. As I said, I'm predicting goals. I'm saying 3-2 Jets. I think Newcastle, Apostolos Stamatolopoulos has been, the shining light for Newcastle this season. He's been fantastic. The striker, scoring goals for fun this year. And he should be able to get the Jets across the line here. Adelaide United, again, they've just been chopping and changing their lineup. What team do they field this week? We'll have to wait and see. Can Nesri Irankunda save them? Irankunda scored a fantastic free kick at Newcastle Jets' home stadium a couple of years ago, you might remember. Can he get the job done for Adelaide? I think Jets just get it at home. If it was an Adelaide game, I probably would tip Adelaide at home. I think Jets just get over in the end. Wellington Phoenix. Sydney FC is potentially shaping up as the most fascinating fixture from the weekend. And obviously the big narrative around this match is the return of former Phoenix coach Ufuk Talay to New Zealand. And look, it's going to be interesting to see how he's received over there in. I think they're playing this game in Auckland, aren't they? It's going to be interesting to see how he's received. And but I'll tell you what, Ufuk Talay has been doing a really, really good job at Sydney FC in the past couple of months, picking up good results and continuing to charge up the ladder, and knocking on the door of the top 4 now. This Sky Blue side, but they've got a massive test here against the team who have just fallen off the top of the table, but of course equal on points with Central Coast Mariners. Wellington Phoenix, man, this is a big game for them. They're coming up against a good Sydney FC side who have been playing good football of late. But this game for me, the way it's going to play out, I remember when these two sides played around the New Year period, they played each other, and it was a really tight contest as well. Sky Blues getting up in that one as well. This one has a 0-0 vibe about it. And again, if you watch a lot of my predictions, I don't often predict 0-0. But you know what I mean? It's got a 0-0 feel about it. Phoenix have obviously been really good defensively this season. Sky Blues, despite missing, they've had Jack Rodwell out with injury. Gabriel Lacerda has been missing some games. They've been going for the youngsters, Jake Goodwood-Reich and Hayden Matthews, the youngster, in the centre of defence, doing a really solid job. Obviously, they're going to be without Jake Goodwood-Reich for this game, so you imagine it is Gabriel Lasota to slot in at centre-back for the Sky Blues. But overall, it's a strong team, the Sydney FC team, and I think is capable of coming away with at least a point. In what should be a tough fixture against Wellington Phoenix. Again, though, I mean, I could see it being a 0-0, but not one of those boring 0-0s, you know what I mean? We've had some 0-0 matches this season that have been really entertaining. We think back to the distance derby a few weeks ago, Wellington Glory, the Wellington Mariners match earlier on in the season as well. And then we've got Brisbane Roar Macarthur FC. A fascinating game this one as well. Brisbane Roar, again, it's been like a bit of a chaotic season for them, roller coaster season, up and down, but they are still in a decent position and could make a charge for the top 6, especially with Wanderers really struggling at the moment. But they're coming up against Macarthur FC side, who you got to say, I mean, regardless of how it goes for the rest of the season, it's been a pretty good campaign for Macarthur FC, and a decent job by Milos Stojovski in his first full season as a head coach. He's done a great job. This is a match that I think, again, could swing either way. All these ones are really so close for this weekend. And Brisbane Roar, I think with the home advantage, I think might be able to get up in this one. Again, Macarthur FC will be eager to bounce back after losing 3-0 at home to Mariners last time around. For me, it is the Roar that just does get up 2-1. Again, another close one. Brisbane Roar obviously have to be wary of Macarthur's goal threat. We know about Valerie Germain, Ulysses de Villa, who have both had good seasons this time around. A blow for the Bulls. Bernardo Oliveira is out for the rest of the season with injury, so they're going to be without the youngster there. But one of the things that have really impressed me from Macarthur is their squad depth. They've got the likes of just in that wide area. They've got Ali Ogla, Jed Drew. These guys could slot in and do a decent job in that wide position. 2-1 Brisbane. I think they get the 3 points. And keep an eye on Raw, man. I've got a feeling, even though the season has been pretty chaotic on and off the field for them, I've got a feeling they might just sneak in there in the top 6. It might come down to the last round of the season. But Brisbane Raw to get the win there for me over the Bulls. The final fixture of the weekend. It ends on Saturday night. Prime time over here on the east coast of Australia. Of course, all these times in Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Perth Glory, Western Sydney Wanderers. A fixture that many people will be curious to watch. Not just because Glory obviously need to get 3 points to charge towards the finals, but Western Sydney Wanderers. They are the talk of the town right now in the A-League because they are falling apart. And at the wrong time of the season too. 7-0 losing to Melbourne City. That's coming off the back of a 3-1 loss to the bottom place Western United, as well as a 4-1 loss in the Sydney Derby the week prior. There's a sense that Marco Redan is losing the dressing room, unfortunately for Wanderers fans, and it's a big test now for Coach Marco Redan, who, look, for me, he brought Wanderers back to the finals for the first time in years last season around. I think he still is a good coach, but this is a test for him now. This is a test this is why, coaches become coaches to lift their teams through these difficult times. And I'm very curious to see the lineup that the Wanderers field for this game. How many changes does Marco Redan make? We saw in that Melbourne City game midweek that he made, 5 changes at halftime. Could we see a completely fresh starting 11 this time around in WA? I think just based off that chaos, you got to tip Glory for a win. On top of the fact that, Glory have been good at home this season and so exciting in second halves, man. Regardless of what the result is, regardless if they're, 2-3 goals down, whatever, they're going to throw everything at you in the second half. And I think it's going to be too much for Wanderers to handle for this game. Glory 3-1. Just the way things are going at the moment for both teams. This is a result I could see coming. It'll be a big ask, big ask for the Red and Black to grab a result here. Away to Glory. And I tell you what, if those results happen, man, you got Newcastle, Raw, Glory, potentially winning this weekend. It's going to make for a really fascinating final few rounds because you've got these teams in the bottom 6 who are now, the bridge between the bottom 6 and the top 6 is starting to close. We could see maybe some surprise entries into those top 6 places come the end of the season. Feel free to drop your predictions down in the comments section below. Always love getting you guys' thoughts and opinions on the upcoming rounds games. My name's Lockie. This is Coach Ufuk Football. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.